Bush anthropology will want to understand how Gregor Morgan and Jaime Carbonell worked with Schulman and Ono for Von Thun to set up the interrogation system that they've had going for 40 years now. It was based on the idea the CIA worked with Lenin in creating a profile of what the honor code would be for the ethics of varmincy in the Lenin culture, Lenin influenced culture. They came up with this idea that you should forgive torturers so that Yoko Ono stops wriggling her lurid finger at you. And that's the honor code. Now, once you've established a false reality, everything that happens takes place off the record. And people who establish the false reality are regarded as in the know. So they perpetuated through Jaime Carbonell's artificial intelligence false translation multicultural mis- misconstruction device, which he specializes in artificial intelligence linguistics. And they claim that their projection of a fraud was an actionable illusion. So the idea of actionable illusion is built into the double fantasy machine that came out blowing up. They called the Q80 fires the perfect storm. It was sort of censor around publication system. And they came up with Flame Over Africa, doing covers with the Yoko Ono, and tortured me as a child. But said they didn't. And Peter Leo used the ghastly trauma of a child being held hostage by murderers to make a mockery of the mind that had been impacted with a neuroplasm. And what the Krohag Reguster, Ming No Wen and Yoko Ono did, they put out a t-shirt, CMU ate my brains, or something like that. What they did was they came up with this idea that, grapefruit was the sound that the Krohag emoji that John Kennedy's head made. And so she really liked that idea, throwing away the book burning, and you're supposed to, Petronilla Val Smith, the walrus, told me to barf up anything that comes through the neuroplasm. They implanted machete wielder, impacted Donald, ostracized impingement retainer, so they could extrude. And if it wasn't spontaneous, they said it's a lie. That's the rapid eye movement Penis Gabriel was lambasting with his lie machine, with his crude hot wire from Pink Floyd's The Walrus. The guy who wants to break somebody's head with a baseball bat. And they have all dramatized with animations in The Walrus and Monty Python, and they acted out. If I got mad at something, they started zapping them right from my poetry. And he's the Walrus. We're gonna make him you feel better. And Chief Seattle was saying, "Whoosh, we'll rape a deaf girl for Remoto Clemente, man, because we're King County. We're non-honorary to non-violence because we didn't inject death seed. Woohoo! For Joey Biden, the honorary of the Walrus. We'll change Dr. King's holiday we should chain it up with the cluster bomb to illustrate that King was on the side of the lightsaber in hacking little boys." This is the mindset of Seattle queer. I mean, they're literally stalking the mind of our society with poison, just as a rampage. It comes from Yoko Ono's cerebralism, from the false reality that the double fantasy engineering system built at Carnegie Mellon and Bath University. Kate Parkhouse, Kate McFerrin. I mean, there were a lot of scumbags involved in it. And if you oppose it, you're supposedly a devil worshiper. If you oppose their lie machine and perfect storm bombing of Kuwait, it's because you're a devil worshiper. Just ask the Fern Hollow Bridge guy. And this is the reality. And they wanted to burn the book to get rid of it. If you don't allow us to burn the book, then it's not true. This is their doctrine, the honor system that Bush and Lenin came up with for the Excalibur nostrums that King Crimson was going to solve, not on a basketball court with Sherman, Alexei, and Kim, not on a soccer court, not in a pussy ball court, but in a court of crimson thorns. Oh, and this is Zuckerballical SCOTUStainment. They came up, Burston was a challenge from the Supreme Court. What are you going to do, spit in our eyes and see where that gets you? And they sit there and hobnob with little, special detail people. Well, there's a special detail. He blanked when he saw an ugly. What made you think she was ugly? Oh, she looks so much like Moon Unit Zappa. He blanked. We must punish this by making him kiss a clubfoot. So the Crow-Cag Reducer comes out with yet another bombshell from the terrible mind of Zappa and Waters. And if you don't abide by it, they will inject somebody. They will rip a murder Shannon Harps over a penny and say it was because you didn't love the black man, your whole heart. And this is what they call the University of Washington administration. This is the mind that has been churning with spinner beanies at Harvard, Columbia, the University of Pittsburgh, Carnegie Mellon University, Bath University, London School of Economics. It's produced and University of Washington dialectical lured me here with promises of protection from abuse. Get to do the honors, they say. The honors, which means starting poisoning people in the food and then shooting restaurateurs and saying, thou shalt not call Moon Unit Licky Chops. And this gives her the, rosy beep of satisfied that she's always after. She jumps out of bed. When am I going to get my rosy beep of satisfied? When am I going to get my rosy beep of satisfied? And she plugs into the Jaime Carvajal, lie machine and comes up with another doozy